All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back. I had a nice vacation last week. It's great to see my family, but I am happy to be back here, back on Twitch with y'all. So we're diving back into Syberia today. We've got a university to go to. Universität Barockstadt. So last time we found this giant condor thing. It collects eggs because... But anyway, yeah, we're stuck in the university's train station. And we need something to pull us along the river to get closer to the... There we go. To pull us to the winding station, because reminder, our train is powered by gears. Not driven by gears, powered by gears. I feel like that's an important distinction. And the train is driven by a mechanical man. Just perfectly normal things here in Syberia land.
Miss.
Oh.
Please, excuse me.
Yes, station master.
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Barockstadt Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you.
So, reminder, he wouldn't talk to us about the Sauvignon grapes. But now that we have the secret uncovered... But there's two things I'd like to do right off the bat. One, we're looking for this guy named Hans. And would you believe it? We didn't talk... Hey, Gail, thank you for the resubscribe of 10 months. Use the robot man to crank the train spring. Yet, that would make sense. That would make sense. But anyway, what we're looking for... Oh, there's nothing over there. I thought maybe the screen would pan. We're looking for Hans. This weird guy who is maybe dead, but maybe not, but maybe... a genius, but maybe not. Lots of things. There are and he loves mammoths, and there's mammoths at this university. We didn't talk to anyone to see if they know Hans. Because if Hans is going to turn up anywhere... Aha, and we have not talked to this couple. Hello, you who have a boat. Can you pull my train? Will there be mammoths?
Hey there!
Walker?
On the boat.
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?
Okay, he was talking in what I guess is like a Swiss German by the use of Mademoiselle. She has a Russian accent. Dutch. You think it's Dutch? Okay. Still, she has a Russian accent. That's just an interesting combination.
It
Train.
must be really neat to travel by river.
Oh, slecht de boot. Eine vergeten das Grund. Voor me.
Oh yeah, that's
Loka
Dutch.
Loka is fantastica. Eine kleine Rad mit Oosted. Okay, you guide.
Excuse me?
What?
My husband say he like his barge and he not like your train. Too noisy. If you want to travel in tin can, you stay in tin can.
Sure.
Okay, can you help me move my tin can?
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no. More money for that werk.
Da is possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Capitalism.
Cinquante.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Kate, just
Let me offer you $75.
write it as a business
Nice.
expense.
$125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great.
Was this
now,
a test?
Don't move.
Correct.
I'll be back
You
as
have
quick
the.
as possible with the money. I'll leave you to it.
That's
I
how you.
won't disturb
That's
you
how
again.
you haggle.
Svidania.
You just say correct. You can tell it Dutch because it sounds like an American making up European language. It does, and yet at the same time, he also has other little things in there that are French and Russian and German. He's kind of speaking a pan-European language that isn't. Oh, what was that language that was made up? Nosferatu? No. You know the one I'm talking about, Twitch chat. Esperanto, yeah. It's like German with French pronunciation. Fair enough. I mean, universities traditionally bring people from all over the world together. Let's go talk to the rectors, though, about Hans. Because I don't think we did that. And Hans would love the mammoth.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little problem. Everyone has little problems now, you know.
They are kept to oneself, and they don't stop the world from turning.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
No, my little problem does stop a train from leaving a station.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that, but bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Rude.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact.
Maybe that's why he left.
50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Bit late for that.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while.
They're academics. They don't have money.
I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
It's not like I'm going anywhere anyway. Confibulate
Why
away.
not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
Yes, made by
A
Hans.
unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barakstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
You lost the manual.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Except it's not.
Here we are,
It's
busy
still ongoing.
chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
Okay. So we need to get the barge to move the train, but to do that, we need to get the money. To get the money, we need to fix the bandstand. To fix the bandstand, we need to get into the bandstand, which has an egg on the door. And to get the egg, we need to do something with the condor. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. I want to check out the library again, see if we missed anything in there. I don't think we went up here. One of these things is not like the other. The Illustrated Dictionary of Plants and Mushrooms. It has one entry. The Angola cola. It's a mushroom without stem that has a chewy texture. Member of the blah blah blah. Native American tribes are very attached to it. Biologists have reached the conclusion. This font is hard to read. I've reached the conclusion that the Angola cola contains a special substance that is unique to the mushroom. The substance significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. Cool. Find magic mushroom makes someone see. I don't know who we're getting to see. But it's an adventure game. If it gives you the ability, there's probably a problem to solve with it. Adventure games are terrible at the Chekhov's gun thing. Let's talk to this guy about Hans.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again.
Oh, there's always the
What
games
is it
that
you
sort
want
of
to
ruin
know,
the
miss?
formula intentionally.
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans.
You can't use that word
we were both
anymore.
Students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Like
Your
making
Hans
mechanical
Vorarlberg sounds uncannily
bandstands.
like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, and never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A
Like one
doll,
found in a
you
cave?
say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
Oscar,
What do you
turn the
mean?
train around. We're going back
To my
to
knowledge, there was only
Valladolid.
one tribe who made figurines featuring a mouth, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Vorarlberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
Notice he
I'll
said
leave you in
Syberia with a
peace.
Y there at
I
the
hope
end.
I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
So maybe we should find this doll and share it with him. Limbo of the Lost was made from spare parts. I have never heard of this game,
No
to be
point.
honest, so
It's locked.
I cannot judge on its quality or lack thereof, but I'll take your word for it. Okay, let's go get the doll. We have this several thousand-year-old doll. We should be very careful with it. So we're going to put it in my jacket and carry it all over the place. I wonder if we could get any of those magic eye mushrooms in here. We're going to get them from anywhere. It's probably gonna be the greenhouse. We still need some sort of long stick to activate the giant condor automaton. But we also need to get the locks still open. That's another step I forgot. I have a lot of fond memories of this game, but I do not remember the steps taking this long between between areas, but that's okay. It's good to revisit. And I suppose such is the nature of memories after all, just kind of filtering out the best and stringing them together. Let's take a look at the lock control.
That looks broken.
Yeah, it looks like it's been chewed through.
I need a key.
Oh, here we go. Instructions. In case of problems, contact the following number. 27666742. I really like that font on the numbers. That is a really neat font. Nice and Art Deco and tall. Here, have it all.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again. Professor, I have brought you something that should be of interest to you. Look.
Is she gonna start every sentence with Professor?
What have you got there, then? Let's see. An effigy of a mammoth. But this is Hans' doll, is it not? Yes, of course it is. How on earth did you... Oh my God, it's in my hands. It exists. It really exists. Please do excuse me. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
That's the roller
You see?
coaster of
Your
emotions of
hands
scientists.
and my Vorarlberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this carefully. May I borrow your treasure a moment?
Well, actually,
Don't worry, miss. I will take the greatest care of it. But I need to study it. You see, it has such importance to me that this very afternoon I shall deliver an impromptu lecture to my students about this very object. If you are interested in Hans Vorarlberg, then it is essential that you attend. Huh?
do you think so?
I need to go to a
Obviously.
lecture?
Give me your telephone number and I will call you the moment my lecture begins. I will return you your doll at the end. You have my word.
Okay. Hey, we can get into the laboratory now. Let's ransack the laboratory. Ooh, wax cylinder. Hans must have left that behind for Anna. That is literally all that's in there.
I don't need that.
I can't even tell what it is, but you're giving me a hand icon. I'm guessing it's the mammoth doll. He's doing a great job studying it by having it on his desk and looking somewhere else. What did I just pick up? Yenga Cola powder. Hey, look, we don't even have to find the mushrooms. We found the magic powder. Test tube holder. Interesting. What test tube could we possibly want to hold? Can we use that to go get the eggs? I do like that they left the door of the laboratory open there to be like, hey, look, it's open. You can come in now. So we have a hook, a test tube holder, wine, and magic mushroom powder. Miss Kate Walker is about to get arrested by the customs. I wonder if he has the key to the control box.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do?
I feel like I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
I won't disturb you any longer,
Okay.
Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barockstadt, miss.
Gonna climb up to the condor, see if we can do the get the eggs with the test tube holder or something. Just a normal day in the office of a lawyer, I guess. Yes. Look at that. We got an egg. I'm a genius. All right, what's this voice cylinder got to say?
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
And Anna had a hard life. And whose decision was to make the cutscene so creepy? Well, I think if you're talking about the automaton, I think that's a Hans and or Anna invention. I mean, the rest makes sense as black and white because it was set in the 40s. Color hadn't been invented yet. But I guess in a meta way, the person who decided that the cutscene should be creepy, at least by your judgment, Sub-Zero, would be the director, I guess. Aha! It's a good thing that all cuckoo eggs are exactly the same weight and have no differences whatsoever. That's all you had to do to fix it? Guys, you had to pull the lever. That's all there was. It wasn't broken. Just no one turned it on. So much nope. I love that cutscene. I legitimately... That cutscene stands out in my mind above anything else in this game. I remember being mesmerized as a child by that cutscene. And they make beautiful music. But the giant cylinder, I guess, the mechanism by which they work as a music box is really cool. All right, someone owes me $100. Knock knock, Rectors. Guess what?
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but...
A little problem.
They are kept to...
Nor
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university bandstand.
the bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous news.
Now give
We
me
are really
$100.
very grateful indeed.
Yes, very grateful indeed. We will look back on your visit with much fondness in our hearts.
And now let us in turn honor our word. How much is it you need, miss?
$100, if it's not too much to ask.
You should have negotiated this before you
We
did the work.
agreed to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may now leave with your train.
Did they just pay me in quarters?
And while we're on the subject, when will you be leaving?
Yes, because now you should relocate your train as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock.
Already?
Thank you for...
And thank...
So we need to get the lock open. To get the lock open, we need a key. We know that one professor wants to give a lecture. We need the mammoth back because we can't show up to Syberia and find Hans and be like, give us your factory, unless we can give him the mammoth. So where would we find a key? Maybe re-talking to the station master might be a good idea. Maybe talk to him about the train. Or what's this way?
No point. It's locked.
Well, I guess that makes sense because they have it roped off. The stairs roped off downstairs as well, but why even have them at that point? I guess it adds to the ambiance that this whole university is kind of broken down and sad. Everything is broken down and sad. Well, okay, yes, but we're currently in the university district of Broken Down and Sadsville. It's on the corner of Misery and Broken Dreams.
I'm sorry to disturb.
What can I do for you, miss?
Can
I'm
you help me?
sorry to junk up your station like this, but the spring mechanism on my train needs winding.
A spring-operated locomotive. There's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's right there.
And an impractical thing, too.
Hey, it
I
almost
always
got to
dreamed
the
of taking the
winding
train,
point.
But now, I'm over the hill. And someone has to take care of the birds, after all.
I'm not asking you to take the train with me. I'm asking you to help me move it 30 feet.
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, you thinking of staying for long, miss?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick by the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superiors at the university. You understand?
I won't disturb you any
I
longer,
understand.
Mr. Station Ma-
Welcome to Bar.
You have nothing of aid. Maybe the people in the boat have the key all along. Rottada. Well, I don't even have to look because I preached this morning. It's actually one of my favorite passages in the gospel because you got James and Jesus head towards Jerusalem to, head towards the crucifixion, and he's passing through a town in Samaria. He sends some disciples to be like, "Hey, can we stay here for the night?" And they said, "No, thanks, we're good." And James and John are like, "Should we call down thunder and lightning?" And it's like, where did you even get the idea that A, you can do that, and B, that that's the appropriate and measured response?
There you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there.
Ah,
Thank you. Not difficult get dollar. See? You are a real businesswoman.
thank you.
I'm not the only one around here.
We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you.
Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vorbat pensinos esto? Declina madam. No se saye mar alles non comprendo en allora kaput en andere bordel. Zirs var moi. On boom telefonieren kaput.
My husband say instructions complicated. No understand manual. My husband angry. Very angry. Oh, now telephone broke. Kaput.
Now that is annoying. What are you going to do
Are
next?
you implying that your husband
We
broke?
wait repairman.
Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism.
Take key. Sailor always need key for lock.
Why couldn't you give this to us sooner? Good catch, Kate
Okay,
Walker.
thanks.
This oddly pan-European couple just apparently has everything. I love that you can hear the bandstand in the distance. Oh, lecture must be starting.
Hello?
Kate, how's my
Nope,
little
it's my
baby
mother.
girl? I was thinking about you only yesterday because I saw this fantastic fur coat. You are wrapping up warm, aren't you? I mean, people in foreign countries never know how to dress properly for the weather.
Mom,
Kate's
it's so
mom
sweet
confirmed
of you to
casual
worry, but I'm
racist.
fine, really. The trip's a breeze, no worries. I mean, there's...
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seeing each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity show organized by, someone or another. Anyway, they got him singing a couple of old numbers from his repertoire, and in the end, he asked me to go up on stage with him. Can you imagine me, your mother, on stage in front of thousands of people?
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I
Oh
didn't even have the
dear.
proper dress
Oh
on.
my.
But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time. Oh, he's such a cutie, and he's got the sweetest little...
I'm sure he has, Mom.
It would be so good if you could join us one day. Let's see, when is his next gala? I'm so forgetful these days. I swear I'd lose my head if it weren't in the clouds. You just watch out, my girl. Them years will catch up with you much quicker than you think.
I'll look out for them, Ma. Nice to hear your voice. Lots of love.
Well, to you too, my little munchkin.
Just surprise phone call. Okay, so we can call the number, but the problem is, without a working handset, what good is it?
That looks broken.
No, really. Well, maybe I'll just call the number anyway. 2766-6742. 2766-6742. 276. What? Oh, wow. I just failed to solve a problem in a very millennial way. Because I refused to call someone. Because guess what? There's a phone number. Now, if only... Where's my cell phone? Why is it not letting me... 2766-6742. We had a phone with us the whole time.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Koningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barakstadt lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number sign.
I love phone trees.
If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. To return to the last command, press the number sign.
I guess we want to lower it?
You want to lower the water level in the Barakstadt lock? To confirm your choice, press star. To return to the previous command, press the number sign.
It could have only been worse if we got put on
Your
hold.
request has been logged. Unfortunately, our regional technician is currently on holiday, and no replacement is available. We will reply to your request within 48 hours. In case of an emergency, please operate the lock system manually. We apologize for delays to our service.
It was a virtual phone call and still made me upset. Okay, so we need to find the controls. So we find the controls, we can control the lock. If we control the lock, we can move our boat. You can move the boat to move our train. I wonder if the station master now knows something. My goal for today is to finish up Barokstadt, which I think is doable. I think we're getting pretty close. And we still have an hour of stream left. Actually, more than, so.
I'm sorry to
What can...
Can you explain to me how the locks in the canal work, please?
A lock, right, is a system of sealed gates. They're clever, right? They help boats overcome gradient problems in channeled water flows. They make this kind of boat staircase.
Not the concept.
You know what I like? Sitting on the bank, watching the barges and...
I'm sorry. I must have expressed myself badly. I need to know how the locks open and close to vary the water levels.
I'm not sure on the precise maneuver. Trains and barges, trains, now, those guys are very different fellows altogether.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barokstadt, miss.
Maybe our friends on the boats know the secret combination? Unless we're supposed to be raising this water level, I wonder. Because I said lower earlier.
Welcome to the East. If you want to raise the water, you want to raise to confirm your choice. Your request has been logged.
Okay, it's going to give me the same message. I just had to test that really quickly before we started running all over the place.
Hey there!
Gordon!
My husband's... Is it the locks that are stopping you from carrying on your journey?
Da, barge no pass. Lock closed.
Have you tried, just opening them?
Nah, not possible.
Fivehead, just
I've
open
tried.
them.
Now system kaput.
Oh, dear. I am sorry about that. Looks like we're all being held prisoners in Barokstadt then, in a way. I'll leave you to...
Dos!
No, it's not funny that we're all being held prisoner. Kate Walker. I just had a bit of a thought. Star is to confirm your choice on the phone. What if 27 star 66 star 67 star 42? Let's go. I figured out the magic. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for having figured that out. Because that was a very subtle hint. Because, yeah, it looked like a number pad on a phone, but still, like...
Hey there, on the boat.
Guten Tag!
Why didn't we ever get their names?
Right, I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Godverdomme. Das ist eine echte Ladies. Alle trois, rangez alle Dingen and obligados de dame. Ach, set content on route again.
What did your husband say?
You, hurry up! We hurry to travel again.
Okay. We'll meet each other on the other side. By my train, okay?
Now, do I have to put that code back in reverse? I should have been writing this down. Nope. Okay, I did put it back in backwards in the correct order, I think. Maybe I just do it in the same order? I'm gonna need to write this one down. Okay. Maybe I just need to talk to them on the other side? Because, like, I tried doing it backwards, and I tried doing it backwards in sets of 2. So, like, rather than 2-4, it would be still 4-2. But then 6-7, 6-6, 2-7. Maybe I should give the station master the code. It seems like something he should just have. Yeah, excuse me, where did the boat go? Magic disappearing boat. That does look like I'm gonna have to raise the lock. Yeah, because here they are. They're in the lock, and I need to get them up to be with that water level so I can take the train out along the river. Why is this not working? Can we call the number again?
Welcome. If you are using the if you want to raise the you want to confirm your request has been logged.
Yes, I get that my request has been logged. Thank you.
The instructions are written in a language I don't recognize.
Well, that's not helpful. I don't get what I'm doing wrong here, Twitch chat. And we can't go to the lecture until the dude calls us. Any thoughts? I'm not hitting the buttons hard enough. I'll talk to my mouse about that. Because I've entered it forward, backwards in sets of 2. You on the boat, what do you got? Oh, I bet we're going to use the hook to hook up the train. Yeah, because if I come here... and I tried to talk to them, I can't get down there. I can just go to the right. Which takes me beyond where they are. This is frustrating. Because I get what we're supposed to do. I don't get the practical application of it is the problem.
The instructions are...
Well, you can still recognize the language. Unless they just really are written in something obscure.
The instruction...
Alright, I feel like I solved this one. I'm looking up a guide. Oh my goodness. So it wasn't re-entering the whole phone number. It was 42 pound was to lower, because that's what you pressed on the phone. 41 raises, because that's what you press on the phone to try and get that to... Okay, that's a little red herring and sneaky. I take back the nice things I said about that puzzle. Why would they make it work like that? The phone tree also being the manual commands. Exactly. Because I think the idea is that you would call, and be like, oh, we'll press these buttons, or we'll send a technician. adventure game logic. Not even once. We were on the right track. It's just, and there wasn't any other hint that was really going to make that obvious, so I don't feel bad about looking up a guide.
Hey there! On the boat!
Da, barge on other side. You still need us?
Yes, look, my train is right here.
What do we do now to tie my train to the barge?
Mademoiselle Takatak, Loco Coco Mitchen.
What did your husband say?
You
What did he call me?
chain to train and chain to train with barge.
Hop! Catch it, sir.
If that's going to work, it looks like something's missing.
You're not even going to try to attach it to your train without the hook first? You're just going to, something's missing, I'm not touching this. That looks like the worst spot to attach that chain, because that's like decoration, I think. It's a powerful barge. Because that train is like all metal. But we got the train to the winding station. Time for a lecture.
Hello, Kate Walker here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Ponce. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukols at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon.
I think it's time for exposition. There's very green water in that river, by the way. It's kind of gross. You know, as much as I do love adventure games, I'm not always very good at them because I'm not the best at lateral thinking. Maybe that's why I became a priest. There's no lateral thinking involved in the theological and pastoral worlds, right? All right, let's see how many students are even in this lecture. I bet 3.
Ah, there you are, Miss Walker. Good.
Nope,
Good.
it's 2
take
and
a seat
myself.
quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson.
Oh, it's 5. Better attendance
My
than many
young
lectures.
friends, A very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukol people. Lights, please. The Yukols are a people from the far north about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Syberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukol population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukol people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukols date back to the last ice age. Curiously, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory.
Are you suggesting that they domesticated mammoth?
In symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukols followed them to the north, to the edges of Syberia.
I bet mammoth wool would be warm.
Drawings, identified as Yukol in origin, first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukols had managed to domesticate.
Oh my gosh, that is what he's
mammoth.
saying.
They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people to represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy, identified by myself as an authentic Neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukol forebears managed to tame mammoths. Prehistoric man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. As we have seen, Yukol existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry.
What about bones?
The disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had
Why
no
wouldn't you use
immediate
bones as the
effect
building
on the
material instead of
Yukol's way
tusks?
life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukol people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. Their ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukols learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As
Their ancestors
plausible
left
as
them
this
leftovers
explanation may
forever.
seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukol shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle.
That's a rather
We have to
judgmental
take their
statement.
stories at face value, mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian Ice Ark is a very good example, and you are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I had passed around to you. This legend would have us believe that today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Siberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukol's tender care. And the island on which the
Wouldn't that lead to a lot of genetic
said to
inbreeding
live
and
is called Syberia.
emergent defects?
My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this pish and tish. The island of Syberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yugols were sadly among the first victims of the
Is this going to be on the
colonization of
test?
continental Siberia, led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhoz and Sovkhoz systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation people had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yugols' traditional lifestyle. Since the collapse of the communist regime, the Yugo population finds itself confronted with the same political and social upheavals that other Siberian communities are experiencing. There are two consequences to arise from this. Some Yukos have lost their tribal identity and have integrated into the Russian population. Others, however, have sought long and hard to re-establish links with their ancestral culture that was lost under the Soviet regime. Now, at the start of the 21st century, the last true surviving Yukos have gone to live on the vast territories of their ancestors. Nobody knows today where they live or how they survive. Their very existence would be a matter for speculation if they did not turn up periodically at the tundra's most isolated fur trading posts to exchange mammoth tusks for essential items. There ends my lecture for today.
Oh,
Thank you for
finally.
being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them.
I mean, setting aside his sort of strongly negative takes towards the shamans and their tales, interesting stuff. It actually reminds me of a very interesting sort of mini documentary that's on YouTube. I forget who produced it, but it was a pretty major name, like National Geographic or something. But it's a day in the life of Siberian people, and it goes through how they get fresh water, like how they melt ice for it, but it can't just be any ice, where they get the clean ice, what they do for food to keep warm. It shows one of the kids going to school. It's really cool. It's like 20 minutes long. Give me back my doll. And I'll take the papers, just to be nice. Good lecture, Professor. Very nice. Legend of the Ivory Ark. This is not what you told me you would have. You told me you'd have copies of your slides. Not a coffee-stained book review. Typical professor life, I guess. Trying to publish anywhere and everywhere you can. Okay, let's put the mammoth back in its rightful place, wind up our train, and see what we can do to get going. Goodbye, station master. I wonder how they keep the humidity in this greenhouse, considering it has these giant openings. I mean, it has a clockwork condor that collects eggs, so, you know, maybe there are bigger problems I should be asking, but... Clockwork mechanism that combines H2 and O to make more moisture.
Everything okay?
Yes,
It's as believable as
Kate
everything
Walker.
else.
I am waiting to continue our journey.
I'm off, Oscar. See you later.
Yes, Kate Walker.
Mammoth, back on pedestal. Did you know there are more hydrogen atoms in one molecule of water than there are stars in the solar system? I did know that, and I think that's very cool. Physics is weird. There we go. And I guess...
Hello?
Where are you?
Oh,
Hi, Dan. I'm in Barrackstadt.
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere.
and stop
It's
being so
weird
controlling,
here.
Dan.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
But don't worry,
You're
he's made of
messing
metal.
around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar is an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
I'm worried
My
about what
mission still isn't
you're
finished.
consuming too.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes. Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere
good
else Sir
sass.
would like me to put myself while we're on this subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you've calmed down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
Oh, there's relationship issues. But also mostly because Dan's kind of a terrible jerk. All right, Oscar, take us out of here.
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
Speaking of mechanical problems, there aren't any other hitches I should know about, Oscar?
This train has no mechanical problems, Kate Walker. Winding the spring mechanism is standard service procedure.
Okay, Oscar.
I did wind
I'm
the
off,
spring.
Oscar.
Yes.
Do I need to show you my ticket again? Nope. Facts. Okay, no, he has my ticket still.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Oscar, if you tell me...
Everything is ready. Take your seat, Kate.
I'll... Okay.
Okay, we're leaving. I guess we don't need the magic mushroom for something here? And we're stopping. That was the shortest leg of this trip so far. Oh, good. We need one of the Voralberg keys. It's a Voralberg key. You've already seen dozens of them.
What are you doing there, Oscar?
It is imperative that we comply with railroad and customs regulations, Kate Walker.
Oscar?
Oscar?
Don't you think we could drop the trifling details once and for all?
We need an exit visa to get beyond the wall, Kate Walker.
And you wouldn't know where I could get one of them from, would you?
There is usually some form of authority stationed at a guard post that is strategically positioned to issue such a visa.
Okay. See you later, Oscar.
Yes, Kate Walker.
Oscar? Could you issue us a visa?
No point. It's locked.
He just likes to feel useful. He drives a train! He already is useful! He doesn't need anything extra to be more useful. And he has a mustache. Why does a mechanical man need a mustache? Then he just needs to talk to his wind-up therapist about realizing his
Hello?
own usefulness.
Kate! Oh, is that you? What's going on?
Well, I finally got the mechanical train wound, and I hope it's going to take me to Hans Voralberg. I had to sort things out with a couple of weirdo sailors, and
And
they
all my
probably
family
ripped me
just has
off.
to check in with
But
me all of a
now
sudden.
I'm blocked behind this
Are they
massive
together in the same
wall.
room, just
You
taking
should
turns
see
calling
it.
me?
It's huge.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know what's going on with Dan.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I bumped into him at Maggie's do, and he said you'd argued.
That's a bit over the top. Things got a bit heated the last time we called, that's all.
that was
No
5
need to
minutes
go
ago.
overboard.
I don't mean to be Miss Melodramatic, but he didn't seem in such great shape. He had his down in the dumps head on.
Like Dan has a down in the dumps head.
This sounds like a
Yeah,
Dan
when
problem.
that shock of hair flops over his forehead, and his eyes mist up, and his eyebrows kind of creased together.
I'd never noticed. Maybe I did go a bit too far, but he's got such a goody two-shoes image of me that sometimes I just lose it. And this case is taking up a lot of headspace. I was just looking for a bit of compassion.
Time moves by
Well,
plot point, not
You sure
linearity.
got mine. So, what's going down?
Like I said before, I'm kind of getting somewhere, but it's slow. This Hans Voralberg
And your phone
guy
calls
is
aren't
getting
helping.
more and more fascinating by the day.
Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't sound like you're bored. Not like back here in the office. Every day is boredom day. It's just no fun without you. When are you coming back?
Shouldn't be long, I hope. Look, I've got to go. See you soon.
Well, call us again real soon. And be easier on Dan next time, huh?
That's called triangulation. I think we're just planting the seeds.
No point. It's locked.
Okay, can't go that way towards the giant turbine. Strategic guardhouse.
Good day to you, sir.
Captain Malatesta, Commander-in-Chief of the Barkstadt Border Post, at your service, madam.
Can you
I
help
need
me?
a visa to cross the wall and to continue my journey to the east. They told me that you are the only person in a position to issue such a visa.
Indeed. This responsibility is part of my duties. However, I am not currently issuing visas because nobody must venture beyond the wall.
And why not?
It's far too dangerous, in particular
Because we built
for
the wall
a lady of your standing who
to
is
keep us
traveling
free.
unescorted.
Dangerous?
And to keep out the
What
enemy.
exactly do you mean, Captain?
That's why we built the wall.
The enemy, miss. The enemy. I've been observing them for several years through my telescope. There's one particular horseman stationed yonder. He's a scout from the invading enemy army, and he's been spying on us. So I have to be extremely vigilant. He knows that I know
Wouldn't
he's
you think
there,
that a
you
scout would
understand?
come and
as
go
long
rather
as
than
I
stay
keep
in one
my
place?
eye on him, he won't dare try anything.
Oh wait, everyone in this
Are you
game's
sure?
kind of a little
Please,
off.
take a look for yourself.
Okay, I'll...
Don't mind me if I retire, Captain.
Please, madam, my respects.
Taking bet. You don't have to take bets. You could literally do a prediction. Step 0. You could literally do soft cheek gambling as a mod. Well, there's a scout.
How strange.
Oh,
I can't
that's not
see
a
a
scout.
Cossack horseman at all. There's just a dead tree in the middle of an empty plain. That poor captain must have really bad eyesight.
Bad eyesight, you say?
Look, broken glasses. If they belong to the captain,
Yeah, we can't get
then
him
he
those
sure
glasses.
has eye problems going by those lenses.
Well, let's give him a
Colonel,
drink.
sir.
He's a captain,
Captain.
not a colonel. Thank you.
But you have the air of a great officer.
You flatter me, miss.
As a glasses wearer, I don't...
I'm afraid that we
Knowing you're a
frontier
glasses wearer, Steps here, I don't
soldiers
believe that
are
all
often
glasses are
forgotten by the
interchangeable.
military
But as
administration.
someone who doesn't wear glasses, I
There's
don't
no
know.
justice. I sympathize with you, Captain.
2020.
Let us forget our worries for a moment and have a little drink together in the name of friendship.
It would be my pleasure, miss, but the regulations strictly forbid it.
Come on. A little glass of wine never hurt anybody, and nobody need know.
This is that weird special wine
miss?
they make at the university,
You
though.
are putting me in a very delicate situation.
Don't deny yourself, Captain. Just a little glass. I assure you, it is excellent.
Well, perhaps just a drop.
Miss Kate Walker, you're being very, inappropriate.
Here's your glass. To your good health, Captain.
We could have
And
told
to
him, like, hey,
yours,
we have this
miss.
powder that will help you see better. Would you like some in a glass of water?
It's been a long time since I've drunk wine in such pleasant company. I admit, it is excellent.
Isn't it? You wouldn't think it came from Barkstadt. It is made from the Amazon forest Sauvignon grape, that has been miraculously conserved and cultivated in the station garden.
No, we're not poisoning him.
Well. The university
improves his
authorities
sight.
kept that one to themselves.
You know, Captain, it is essential that I continue my journey eastwards.
Please don't even think about it. As I've said, it's extremely dangerous. The enemy is spying on us.
Perhaps your Cossack horseman isn't quite what you thought. Perhaps it's just a dead tree twisted into a strange shape. You should take another look. You never know. Go on, Captain. Give it a try.
So be it. I will make this concession to the fairer sex, miss. But it does seem to be quite ridiculous.
I'm sure it does. And yet you're going to do it.
Incredible. How is this possible? By what strange magic?
By the magic of
How
mushroom
could I have
powder.
been so wrong for so
That
long.
tastes terrible in wine, by the way.
The enemy was only a tree. I'm so ashamed.
It's not that bad, Captain. It's only human to make mistakes, after all.
A tree. Nothing but a dead tree.
Oh, good.
Pull
We've
yourself
caused him an
together, Captain.
existential crisis.
It's okay. And now I suppose there's nothing stopping you from issuing me a visa?
Yes, of course. There is no more danger. All these years. And now the Cossack has gone. There is nothing left to watch.
Captain, you should be delighted. From now on, you don't have to stay pinned to your watchtower. Travel can start up again normally. You will be able to resume your regular duties like issuing entrance and exit visas.
You are right. I will sign you a visa to cross the wall frontier immediately. 1,000 apologies. Here, miss.
He has very impressive handwriting if he can sign that from behind his back. Beyond the ramparts, conditions for journeys into the Eastern Territories are filled with uncertainty and reputed to be hazardous. As a consequence, the wall authorities cannot be guaranteed the physical safety of the traveler and decline all responsibility in the event of any incident.
Thank you, Captain.
Ooh.
And keep your eyes open.
Spooky.
Miss, if we could keep this between ourselves, please. For the sake of my honor, you understand?
You have my promise, Captain.
I won't tell anyone about the tree, except Oscar. Oscar doesn't count as anyone. He's an amazing mechano man. I've never watched The Mandalorian. Mostly because I just keep forgetting to get around to it. I don't say that as like a brag that or anything, it's just a fact.
Oscar, can't you please...
Your request is refused, Kate Walker.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, but I have... Where's my... Okay, that's weird that I have to give it to him here.
Here is the visa. I hope it's regulation, my dear Oscar.
It is unique, Miss Kate Walker, but we accept it.
It is regulation. Here is your ticket. Have a good journey, Kate Walker.
So, can we go now?
Indeed. We are already very late, Kate Walker.
I've been trying to go. Oscar just lives on X to doubt all the time.
Your ticket, please.
You know, Oscar, you might not think so, but I also know a thing or two about procedure. And that's one bit of procedure I'm not going to forget about easily.
As you wish, Kate Walker.
Your ticket,
Yes.
please.
For once, we're going to do things as I wish.
Meaning I'm still going to give you the ticket.
Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you, Kate Walker. Now, please return to your seat, Kate Walker.
Yes, Oscar. Immediately, Oscar.
Yeah, Kate is kind of projecting her Dan problems onto poor Oscar. I wonder if someone's ever done an Oscar cosplay. It's a puzzle we didn't even have to solve. I figured. It's pretty cool. And we're off! We are out of Brockstadt. Goodbye, Cossack Horseman Tree. Gee, I wonder where this is and what this is supposed to represent. We can't even get off on the one side of the train. A new area we've never been. Time to start pulling random levers. This is safe. Wow, my cell phone gets great coverage.
Hello? Hello?
Kate, it's Dan. Can you hear me?
Never mind.
Dan, is that you? I can't hear you so good. Dan?
Hey, Kate, let's talk. It's about the last conversation. Are you still mad at me? Come on, it's important.
Dan,
Sorry,
you're
I'm going
breaking
into
up.
an abandoned
I'll try and
mine.
call you when I get out of this mine.
Kate, what's happening? Listen, we've got to talk.
Look, the line's just getting worse and worse. I'm hanging up.
The quality of that phone call is a metaphor for our relationship.
This thing's... If that's going to work...
Well, that's dark and spooky.
It's too dark to continue.
Okay, so to explore the mines, we need to turn on the lights. See, adventure games are just a giant series of to-do lists.
I don't need to do...
With very nice music.
Walker!
Oscar, what's going on? Why has the train stopped? Where are we?
The springs of the train are unwound again, Kate Walker. As for the question pertaining to our geographical location, I really haven't the slightest idea.
Well, we'd better get looking for a winding machine, my dear Oscar. I hope that this place actually has one.
The air here is so polluted that I could not possibly risk leaving the locomotive. My joints might corrode irreparably.
Right. Let's see.
Okay, be that way.
See you soon, Oscar.
I shall stay right here, Kate Walker.
I think the real reason that spring-powered clockwork trains never took off is the impracticality of, you know, having a spring strong enough to move a train, but I'll need something that conducts electricity. Does Oscar conduct electricity?
That door is locked.
Probably.
I've got to find another way around.
These giant hammer and sickle statues always made me think they were also cowboys as a kid because they have like that bow-leggedness. Okay, so we found someone's bedroom. Cool. Oh, wax cylinder. Okay, so these things had modular hands, it appears. And it looks like there's something on the right ankle. Looks like there's something on the inner side. Maybe the spring to wind up our... But this looks like something more dangerous. I don't know. Hey, look, a key. Yes, I'm just ransacking this poor person's apartment. Handle. Aha. Handle goes in. But what if we moved, giant communist comrade? How close to the other one can we get? If the train can't go to the statue, because that's a normal sentence that I would expect the train to even be able to do. Oh-ho, look at that. But why do I get the sense that Oscar's not going to let us leave anyway because we don't have an exit visa?
Can't go that way.
Oh, I have to move the statue back. So that it's on the platform. You see, there's the... I just pointed at the my gaming screen as though you can see where I am pointing. I love getting immersed in games that way.
You there!
Uh-oh. Hello, Mr. Mole Man. But you're not Hans Mole Man. You're just a Mole Man. I want to go make sure Oscar's okay.
Yes?
Kate, can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can hear you just perfectly, Dan, but I can't talk to you now. I'm in a real hurry.
I wanted to say sorry. I know I wasn't very understanding last time. I've been feeling a bit bad about it.
Okay, you're a real sweetheart, but I've got to leave you now. I'm not angry with you, so don't worry. I've just got to catch up to someone, and quick.
But Kate, this is really important.
I'll call you back, Dan. I'm sorry.
You're not going to try and propose over the phone, are you, buddy? Oscar was made to drive a train that has no practical use. He is never okay. I mean, fair enough, but also... I like Oscar, in a way. I don't know. I think he's cool. I think he's sassy. Okay, well, the mammoth is still here. Let's listen to the voice cylinder and we'll probably wrap it up for the day.
My dear brother, what joy to have news of you after your long silence during the war years. So, you're working for the Russians now. I tell you, we've been hearing some worrying stories about them here. Just your description of that dingy factory makes me cough. But it's so good to hear that your talent is being recognized for its true value, and that your automaton creations are taking the place of workers for all those menial jobs. I'm so proud that Vorarlberg automatons are making such a contribution, even if it is small, to the improvement of people's lives.
Meanwhile, back in Valladolid, we've been licking our wounds after the war years. Some people have returned, others not. Life is slowly coming back, but it's taking time. All my love, Anna.
Yeah, I'd have the same reaction to learning that someone's working for the Russians in that way. But he's at least helping the lives of those in wherever Grodd we are. I just want to make sure that it did in fact save properly. I think that's a good place to call it for the day. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to, here on Twitch or followed or subscribed over on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their week. We'll be back on Thursday with Spirituality Thursday, looking at more Catechumen, the game where we fight demons with a laser sword. I don't know how that game exists, but I kind of love it. Next week on Monday, I'm going to take the day off because it's Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day. So it's a holiday here in New York. I know this means Ys 8 is put on hold again. That game's going to take forever to finish at this point, but it's okay. And then we'll be back with not Syberia next Tuesday. We will finish Syberia. We're not finishing this, but next Tuesday is the 1-year anniversary of the stream. 1 year. That's awesome. And so I want to do something special. So that'll be a surprise. And then on Thursday, more Catechumen. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care, and God bless.